Welcome to the happiest place on earth. Disney isn't just a company, it's a magic kingdom where you pay for the privilege of being indoctrinated and thank them for it. Is Disney a cult? This seems like a great time to talk about it. So I have, of course, my 10-part list of cults. Let's go through it. Every cult starts with a prophet, right? Or a charismatic leader of some kind. And of course, for Disney, that's Walt. His signature is literally the logo of the company, and his image is literally worshipped. Even decades later, they still say, what would Walt do? Deification. Then we have the sacred assumption and the worldview, right? Disney doesn't just make movies, they give you a worldview. And they give us the worldview of America is the best. And we are the good guys. Very good guys and bad guys, right? Good guys and princesses are pretty, bad guys are ugly, happy endings are inevitable as long as you follow the script. This is the exact promise of cults, right? Everything will be perfect as long as you work really hard and do everything just exactly our way. Republican dog is upset. Transcendent mission, right? The cast members. It's not a job, it's a calling. You're not just cleaning rides, you're making magic. You're shaping childhoods and saving the world one churro at a time. Yeah, you're saving the world. This is always the transcendent mission, which of course gets you to step 4, self-sacrifice. Oh, Disney cast members, exhausted, underpaid. My sister worked there just after she got out of the cult. She was all of the princesses except too much cleavage for Ariel. And very, very, very underpaid. Right? They have these internships where they get all these free high school kids from all over who will work very, very hard. The whole Disney cast experience I have heard is bonkers, and I would love to hear from you. Okay, isolation, obviously, if you took like a drone shot from Disneyland, you see very few visible exit. You know, there's no walls, everything's perfect. They do the gardening at night so that you never see anything, right? Walt Disney watched Americans and found out we will hold on to trash for 55 steps before throwing it away. So in Disneyland, there's a trash can every 54 steps, which is part of why it's so clean, right? But I mean, you're literally in Disney World. You are separated from the world over here. Thought control, right? Language. They just have their own language, right? We're cast members. Any place where you have a name for employees, like your own name, Army, we're soldiers. It definitely gets a little culty. And, you know, the customers are guests. There's no trash. It's just magic protection duties. And I'm sure the language goes much, much deeper. I'm just not a former Disney cast member. You've definitely got this us versus them mentality, right? Like it's us against the world. Then you have the whole Disney adult thing. Like, oh, nobody can understand us, but it's just so magic. It's just so perfect. And anyone who's not into Disney is just bitter and cynical or anti-magic. Yeah. Labor exploitation, which is the crux of cults, of course, right? You have the Disney College program, which is basically missionary recruitment, but just Mickey instead of Jesus. High entrance costs. It's effing expensive. We all know this. You know, annual passes, $60 mouse ears these days, probably $100K weddings at Disney. And once you've spent that much, walking away feels like betrayal. That's how exit costs work. And finally, the ends justifies the means, right? We'll do whatever to keep Disney, keep the magic, whether that is union busting, political lobbying, or ruthless corporate takeovers. And it all gets forgiven because of the magic. And of course, finally, what do cults always promise? Space travel, but sometimes it's Space Mountain. So I have noticed that in single family cults, you know, I say cults are always promising space travel. This is in Culting of America, in the book about why cults are always promising space travel. And it's like they have to promise you something beyond the pale, right? They have to give you an unachievable goal. The promise of the cult will be met in a different body, in a different life, in a different planet, in a different world, in a different dimension. Alcoholics Anonymous. In single family cults, I have often heard of the abusive parents using the promise of Disney World or Disneyland. We'll take you to Disney World, we'll take you to Disneyland. And of course, it never happens. So, first rule of cults, you don't think you're in one until you're out. First rule of cults is, of course, we're never in a cult. I'm Daniela Mestenek-Young, and my favorite princess is Ariel. That's one of the few movies we were allowed to watch growing up in the cult because they said it was a Christ story. He sacrifices himself for his daughters, but all I saw was she gets away in the end. I've written 2 books, Uncultured, about growing up in the Children of God religious cult, going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies here or listen to me read it to you anywhere you get your audiobooks. And I've written a second book called The Culting of America, which you can pre-order attached here, coming January. And yes, I did this painting. Have a day.